A mother vanishes, no warning, no trace. The idyllic facade of the Warner family shattered, replaced by a chilling question: where is Dee Warner? The mystery began on a seemingly ordinary day. Dee Warner, a loving wife and devoted mother, went about her routine. Little did anyone know, darkness lurked just around the corner, poised to swallow their world whole. The last confirmed sighting of Dee Warner was at the local grocery store. It was a typical day, with people bustling in and out, unaware of the significance of that moment. Security footage captured her familiar figure, pushing a cart full of groceries. She moved through the aisles with a sense of purpose, yet there was an air of distraction about her. Her face, usually lit by a warm smile, held a distant look that day, a shadow of something unreadable in her eyes. It was as if she was lost in her thoughts, contemplating something deeply personal. A neighbor claimed to have seen her returning home. She waved briefly, but her usual cheerfulness seemed absent. But after that she vanished. No more sightings, no digital footprint. It was as if she had been erased from existence, leaving behind only questions and a haunting silence. Dee Warner had simply ceased to exist. Her disappearance remains a mystery, a puzzle with pieces that refuse to fit together. Panic set in when Dee Warner didn't answer her phone, her calls going straight to voicemail. Her husband, Dale, returned home to an empty house, an unsettling silence pressing in on him. Dinner sat untouched on the stove, the table set for a meal never eaten. The normalcy of it all, the chilling contrast to the growing dread, was almost unbearable. Shadows of doubt. As hours bled into agonizing days, suspicion cast a long shadow over the case. The once peaceful countryside now seemed cloaked in an air of mystery and unease. Every corner of the farmland whispered secrets, and every shadow seemed to hide a clue. The community, once tight-knit, began to unravel as whispers of doubt spread like wildfire. Dale, initially distraught, seemed to recover with unsettling speed. His demeanor shifted from one of despair to an eerie calmness that unsettled those around him. Friends and neighbors couldn't help but notice the rapid change, and it only fueled their suspicions further. Was his recovery genuine, or was it a facade hiding something more sinister? His alibi for the night Dee Warner disappeared was shaky at best. He claimed to be out fishing, alone, but could provide no concrete proof. The lack of witnesses and tangible evidence made his story hard to believe. The more he tried to explain, the more tangled his narrative became, raising even more questions. He claimed to be out fishing alone, but could provide no concrete proof. The serene fishing spot he described was found empty, with no signs of recent activity. His fishing gear, supposedly left unattended, was nowhere to be found. The inconsistencies in his story were glaring, and the police couldn't ignore them. The police, their interest piqued, dug deeper. They combed through every detail, every statement, and every piece of evidence. The rural area, once overlooked, became the focal point of their investigation. They interviewed locals, searched for any overlooked clues, and left no stone unturned. They uncovered inconsistencies in Dale's story, whispers of marital discord, and a life insurance policy that painted Dee Warner's disappearance in a new, sinister light. The policy, taken out just months before the disappearance, raised red flags. The whispers of marital issues added another layer of complexity to the case. The once clear-cut investigation now seemed mired in shadows and doubt, with every new discovery leading to more questions than answers. A search for answers. The investigation intensified. The small town of Warnerville was gripped by a sense of unease as the days passed without any sign of Dee Warner. The local police, overwhelmed by the complexity of the case, called in reinforcements. The FBI joined the case, their presence amplifying the growing suspicion surrounding Dale. With their advanced resources and expertise, they hoped to uncover the truth that had eluded the local authorities. The town watched with bated breath as agents meticulously combed through evidence, each new discovery adding another layer to the mystery. Forensic teams combed the Warner house, searching for any clue that might lead them to Dee. Every corner, every crevice was examined with precision. The once lively home had become a somber crime scene, filled with the echoes of unanswered questions. The forensic experts worked tirelessly, hoping to find that one piece of evidence that could break the case wide open. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but Dee Warner remained missing. The passage of time only deepened the mystery, and the hope of finding her alive began to wane. The community, once tight-knit and trusting, started to fracture under the weight of suspicion and fear. Theories abounded. Had Dale, driven by greed or resentment, harmed his wife? Friends and neighbors whispered among themselves, each with their own version of what might have happened. Some believed Dale's financial troubles had pushed him to a breaking point, while others thought there might have been a more personal motive. Or had something more sinister, more unknown, snatched her away. The idea of an unknown assailant lurking in the shadows sent chills down the spines of the townspeople. The fear of the unknown was palpable, and every dark corner seemed to hide a potential threat. The mystery of Dee Warner's disappearance remains unsolved. Her face, once a familiar sight in the community, now stared back from missing person posters plastered around town. The playgrounds where she once played with her children stood eerily silent, a stark reminder of her absence. Her fate, a haunting question mark that hangs heavy over the town. The once vibrant community now shrouded in a fog of uncertainty and dread. Conversations in the local diner, once filled with laughter, now revolved around the latest theories and speculations. Did she simply leave, seeking a fresh start, or did something far more sinister befall her? The possibility that Dee had chosen to disappear on her own was a bitter pill for many to swallow, yet the alternative, that she had met with foul play, was even more terrifying. The truth, lost somewhere in the shadows, continues to beckon, waiting for the day it's finally brought to light. Until then, the town of Warnerville remains in a state of limbo, caught between hope and despair, as they search for answers in the darkness.